Yo, what up, y'all? It's your boy Mar, the greatest of all time, the greatest of what I do. I'm back with another video, and I'm back with another reaction video. And we looking at the six young NBA studs who might have reached their ceiling already. We finna go ahead and check this out.
Young NBA studs who've already reached their ceiling. By young, I mean, let's say 27 years old or younger. And by stud, let's say guys who've been all-stars before and took the world by storm. But it seems like nowadays they've maxed out their potential. They aren't improving much anymore, and they've seen their numbers drop in recent years.
That's because of the position Porzingis is. I know they're finna do them dirty.
They are. They might make some statistical improvements as the years go by, but in terms of expanding their game and filling out their weaknesses, I don't think they ever will.
I don't know who that is.
They've had years to adjust, but they haven't.
Oh, D-Lo.
Granted, I hope I'm wrong and they do get better, because I like a lot of these guys. It's just, the future isn't as bright as it used to be. Anyway, without further ado, let's get started. Number 6, D'Angelo Russell.
So slept on in my opinion.
He's only been in the league since 2015, but it seems so much longer for some reason. Probably because he got traded so many times. Russell played for 4 teams in his first 5 seasons, and it's not like he was bad. He performed super well in Brooklyn and Golden State, but
the fact
not
that he
well
was able
enough for them to want
change
to
his
keep
game
him.
style and
Coming into the NBA as the second pick and getting drafted to the Lakers, y'all know the expectations were sky high. He had some rough moments there. That whole incident with Nick Young, Coach Byron Scott, and Magic Johnson calling him immature. The Lakers hoped he'd be the leader of the franchise, but it was clear that he didn't have the right mentality. Over the years, he slowly matured and became a more consistent player. The 2018-19 season saw him make his first ever All-Star appearance, with averages of 21 and 7, as he led Brooklyn to the playoffs for the first time since that disastrous trade. It finally looked like he had a home, but nope. The Nets saw a chance to do something big, and sadly, Russell was a casualty.
and that's what fucked
On the
him up
Wolves,
right there.
it's been, he isn't playing as well as he used to. Even on a team like this, where he should flourish and blossom alongside their other young players, Russell hasn't shown any improvement since Brooklyn. His numbers and his efficiency have both regressed as well. He's taking an exorbitant amount of threes over.
See, this was blowing me. Different teams got different play styles and different stars. Like he was in Brooklyn, he had to be the man. So yeah, he had to step up. In Golden State, we all knew that was temporary. Golden State didn't need him, just like they didn't need Monte Ellis when they had drafted Klay Thompson. Like that was just not, he wasn't gonna fit in, but he still did decent. Like his role has changed now. Like that's KarlAnthony Towns and Anthony Edwards' team. Like you gotta cut the man
His
some
shots
slack.
are threes now, which is fine if you're Curry or Clay, but it's always a hit or miss for Russell. If his shot is off, his entire game is off. Number 5, Kristaps Porzingis.
I don't even want to get started with this one.
Another member of the 2015 class who peaked too early. Joining the team during the Carmelo Anthony saga, Porzingis had time to sit back and observe, and he learned a lot from him. When Melo was gone, he took the reins and exploded onto the scene. His 2017-18 campaign saw him average a career-high 22.7 points a game, a career-high in blocks as well with 2.4. Porzingis was such a unique player. He initially came in as a 3-and-D guy who can catch lobs, but over time, his game expanded. He found himself taking his opponents off the dribble, facing them up and posting them up and shooting over them. His entire scoring repertoire widened. However, even in his best year, he was still a work in progress, and over time, it was expected he'd keep on building his efficiency and shot selection. Then, the injury happened. At the peak of his career. And then, that entire nightmare saga started, with Porzingis rehabbing from a torn ACL, but also wanted to leave New York. According to former Knicks president Steve Mills, he said, Porzingis point blank said to us, "I don't want to be here. I'm not going to re-sign with the Knicks, and I'm going to give you 7 days to trade me, or I'm going back to Europe."
Damn. That's
Yikes. A trade to Dallas saw his production dip, but that's mainly because it took a while for him to recover. Heck, he also suffered a torn meniscus, another setback. After performing horribly against the Clippers in the 2021 playoffs, he was once again on the hot seat. Porzingis expressed displeasure in his role as he felt like he wasn't getting the ball enough.
He wasn't.
Overall, I think he's reached his peak already. Porzingis will never be a dominant one-on-one player.
See, the problem was that's Luka Doncic's team. We already know that, but they act like they ain't got other pieces besides Luka Doncic. Like, ain't nobody else gonna complain because they gonna be humble. But Porzingis as an all-star, he has the right to say something. Like, they making it seem like, oh, Porzingis is not playing like himself. I mean, how the hell you gonna play like yourself when the only time you touch the ball is when Luka is literally trapped and he can't, like, you the last option. You feel me? Like, no, it's supposed to be a duo. Jordan didn't pass Pippen the ball when it was his last resort. Pippen was just as good as Jordan was. Well, let's not go that far. But still, you know what I'm trying to say.
But he's good at playing his role, spacing the floor, finishing lobs, and defending the paint. In my opinion, he should stick to those things.
Do that, dick ride.
He was never a first option type of guy.
Andy?
His personality nor his playstyle screams first option. But that's okay.
Yeah, that's Andy. Andy dick riding, bro.
Number 4, Ben Simmons.
No, don't get me started with this.
Of course, I gotta put Ben Simmons
really
on every list that he belongs on. Actually, since his rookie season, his game hasn't improved much at all. Defensively, though, perhaps it did. Simmons,
in my opinion, his game decreased. I remember Ben Simmons was rookie and he was shooting mid. No, I'm not talking about that rookie of the year season. I'm talking about summer league. Excuse me, when he was really a rookie, he was taking middies and whatnot. He was actually shooting the ball. You feel me? Like he said, but he didn't change. Like, it's just like 2K, just straight rim running.
much better
And
defender
passing.
now than he was back in 2017. Just looking at the numbers, at face value, it seems like he's been regressing for a while. And I know everyone clowns him, but in reality, he's still a valuable commodity. In the 2020-21 season, Simmons had the 4th best individual defensive rating in the league, 106.1. He had the 5th best defensive RPM among all point guards, at 2.39, compared to just 0.11 in his rookie season, which was 45th among all point guards. So, by the metrics, his defense has gotten better, significantly
That's Tyler
better.
Johnson.
Unfortunately, everyone focuses on the offensive aspect of his game. So when it comes to shooting outside of 5 feet, he still can't do that. When it comes to his aggressiveness, it's still lacking. Regardless, even if he doesn't get any better, Simmons is still a solid player with everything else he provides. Number 3, Pascal Siakam.
I feel like if Ben Simmons shows some aggressiveness,
using it.
he can be better than Giannis. Just try to expand your game. You can definitely be better than Giannis.
Sure, Siakam was the next in line. He already showed flashes of all-star potential beforehand, and now it's time for him to take over and carry the franchise. Well, that looked like the case for a short time. His first season as the man on the team, he averaged a career-high 23 points a game and led the Raptors to an incredible 53-19 record during the pandemic season.
That was the question for Jimmy Butler. I remember that.
Funny enough, when he underperforms, he doesn't get criticized as much compared to other stars, like Jayson Tatum, for example. Since then, while it was expected he'd keep building on that successful season, he hasn't gotten any better. Part of it has to do with his changing role. In fact, he took a back seat to Fred VanVleet and OG Anunoby. Siakam probably isn't 100% since he's been dealing with a major shoulder injury. Still, maybe he was never meant to be the guy. When he signed that 4-year, $140 million extension, everyone assumed he was going to be their main guy moving forward.
See, that's what they need to stop assuming.
He didn't handle the pressure well. Plus, the myriad of trade rumors hurt his confidence too. According to Siakam himself, he wasn't sure about being, quote, the man. Kyle was, to me, always the greatest Raptor of all time. I think he was always like, I was the guy. I had the contract, but I never really felt like I was the guy, to be honest.
Because you wasn't.
We'll see what happens in the future.
In my
He
opinion,
might not
that's-
have to be the guy
Now
anymore.
that Kyle already gone, that's Fred VanVleet team. I ain't gonna lie to
Number
you.
2, Jayson Tatum. It might be a bit controversial to put Tatum
Wait, hold
here,
on.
but for the last
I have
few
to think
seasons,
about it if I was
his
watching the
game's
same
dead.
video. Nah,
I
Jason
think we
Tatum
all
going.
realize
Nah,
that.
He tripping. I don't
Sure,
fuck
he's
with
still
Andy no
putting
more.
up a
I'm
lot
finna
of
start
points.
watching
He's
Andy
learning to
videos.
pass the ball and all that, but the bane of his existence has always been shot selection. Tatum is primarily a jump shooter, and he'll live and die by the shot. The thing is, earlier in his career, he drove the ball way more often.
Jayson Tatum a dog,
Percentage-wise,
bro.
roughly
I'm sorry.
1/3 of
I'm
his
not
shots
agreeing
came at
with
the
you,
basket.
Andy.
Now, less than 1/5. It was funny because I remember during the offseason, there were tons of photos of Tatum bulking up, with the expectation of him playing closer to the basket, using his strength and length to abuse smaller defenders. Instead, he's taking even more stepbacks and contested jumpers now. Also, it seems like Tatum is complaining to the refs more than ever. To make matters worse, the Celtics are no longer the contenders they once were. I don't think they necessarily got worse as a team, it's just the rest of the East has caught up.
They was.
They can't just win games with pure talent anymore. Their title chances depend on how Tatum performs. And so far, it's not looking so hot.
But Tatum not the only player on the team. It's a
number
team
one,
sport.
KarlAnthony Towns.
Yeah, fuck him, bro. He used to be like
I made a whole video about him
damn
recently.
that top 3 center.
And I'm willing to give Cat the benefit of the doubt. Over the last year, he went through a ton of tragedy. He lost 8 relatives to COVID, including his own mother. And when
I feel like that should have been his motivation in the NBA. Like, shit, I would have been. What? I don't even hoop for it, but when something happened, boy, that's just, we playing 32 in the gym, and I'm just going off. I'm used to, you feel me, losing to everybody. My homie, I ain't even say his name, but I'm used to losing to my homie and the teacher. Then something happens, something going on, I'm quiet, and that's when I start hooping because I'm putting everything, all my emotions into the sport. That's what I felt like he should have been doing. Like, the whole time, he could have been most improved if he really cared about basketball. Like, I feel like he just doing it for fun, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Contracted COVID himself, his body had trouble dealing with it. As a result, he lost over 50 pounds over the course of a few months. According to a report, KarlAnthony Towns lost 50 pounds after he contracted COVID-19.
Well, his play style, that really
he thought about stepping away from the game and had the symptoms of a panic attack when he was first cleared to travel with the Timberwolves. In an interview during his recovery, he jokingly said, "I was as big as D'Angelo Russell. I was as big as our guards. You think I'm gonna play center?" Yeah, when something as drastic as that happens, you can't expect him to play at full strength. However, even before that, he's been about the same for 3 or 4 years.
Look at this play style. He playing like a guard.
Cat is a
Hey, that was
dominant
raw,
post-up player.
Because he had
He's
his
an
ass in there, but
amazing
he played like a
three-point
guard.
shooter, a great rebounder too. But has his defense gotten any better? I feel like we criticize his game for the exact same thing every year.
I'm telling you, that just looked so
And
weird.
it's going to keep happening until he shows some
fast.
playoff success. He's only played in the playoffs once in 2018, and Cat struggled immensely against the Rockets' small ball. Due to his slow-paced, sluggish movement, any team that goes small has a field day against him. That hasn't changed. Anyway, that's all, folks. Those were
Andy, I
6
still
young
don't fuck with you,
NBA
dog.
studs who look like they've reached their peak. What are your thoughts? Do you agree or disagree with my list? Let me know in the comments. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope y'all enjoyed the video, and of course, as always, I'll see you next time.
Nah, Andy, me and you ain't cool no more, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you. My next reaction might be one of Andy videos. Let me stop playing, but nah. I hope y'all enjoyed my reaction. Let me know if y'all agree with Andy, because I'm going to tell you now, I don't. So, yeah. It's your boy, Mar, the greatest of all time. Like the video, subscribe, share it with your friends, leave a comment, do all that. Thank you.